I hope to goodness that we see better outcomes than what we've seen in our lifetimes. Certainly gains have been made, and we sort of very thankful, I guess, and appreciative of the fact that we have good partnerships with a lot of good people. So there are still lots of work for you to do.
Establishing a consortium is about having a collective voice, a stronger voice, and also to ensure that all of our policy and program development going forward is informed by Indigenous nursing and midwifery academics and an evidence base that's been led through an Indigenous research lens.
We've had a research agenda that has been around a deficit discourse. We, as Indigenous nurses and midwives, are shifting that discourse. We're a strength-based model. We know what we can do effectively in our communities that works. We're the experts in this space. Our people are the experts in this space, and we need to be working with them. We need to shift the research agenda into a space that values our Indigenous ways of knowing and being and doing around health and how to alleviate the determinants that have been caused and created through colonisation. We want to decolonise health, and we believe that we can do that very effectively because we have been working in the area of research, health, etc. We've worked in the systems, we've been dealing with those systems, and we know they're not working, and our role is to be strong, political, and start calling the system out for how it continues to cause harm on our people and our service providers.
We are anti-fragile people. We are still here. We have survived genocide. We are still here. We are growing stronger every day.
The nursing and midwifery environment is not exempt from the truth-telling agenda, and certainly it's a truth-telling process that we as a discipline need to go through. And unfortunately, unless we start to talk about racism in another 20 years, we're still going to be talking about discrimination and bias, which is very different to racism, and there we get closer to talking about racism for non-English speaking background, culturally and linguistically diverse, but the uniqueness of racism for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and the colonialism that's impacted on the relationships and the racist behaviours that continue to be perpetuated. We're fortunate in nursing and midwifery as they're both caring professions, and we like to think that the racism that is perpetuated by the disciplines isn't deliberate. They don't know what they don't know. So how do we work intensively with nursing leaders so that they fully understand the magnitude of their decisions? Our agenda is not about being decisive, it's actually about unity, and we can't have that true unity unless we ourselves go through a truth-telling process as two disciplines.
For me, research is an act of resistance, reform, translation and embedding Indigenous knowledges at the centre of what is good, solid evidence. The Consortium embraces that, and I can see how with the streams of activities that is proposed, not only working with universities on curriculum development, it's also how do we measure that? What is meaningful measurement to put the evidence out there?
Understanding the places that we work in are violent, and understanding that what we bring is that relational obligation back to our community. I think we can work more effectively as sovereign agents of our communities if we have a network. And I think the Consortium, provides at least a network that we are developing. And so this is really, I think, taking the current practice way beyond where it is at the moment, because at the moment we're working towards fulfilling curriculum frameworks and fulfilling accreditation requirements, but not, privileging our sovereignness and our accountability back to our community. And I think the Consortium provides an opportunity for us to actually privilege that, and the other stuff just becomes secondary, or at least we know the other stuff will be done, because we'll be doing it much better, because we will be actually working towards the agenda of our individual but also our collective in communities.
It's important to remember that what we're trying to do is not our idea. It's not a new idea. We're carrying on the work of those that have come before us. I think that's integral to the process, and the timing, it's the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife, which I think is important. COVID has shown us the importance of our professions. It's really highlighted how much the world needs nurses and midwives, but more importantly that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander nurses and midwives have these knowledges and have been doing these things for more than 60,000 years, So when we talk about the time is now, I think it's just that resurgence and that regeneration and the carrying on, and as Uncle talked about at the 10 Embassy, that carrying on the flame, carrying on the flame for the work that's been done. And it's an honour and a privilege to take that responsibility, and this group is incredible. The wealth of knowledge that have come together in this consortium astounds me. I feel so privileged to be a part of it and to see where it goes and hopefully build that momentum. And it's time that we see a change, because there's so much work has happened with very little outcome.
We don't have anywhere to go. Everything in the system has failed us. So if we are leaders and collective leaders and we step up together, we're a powerful force, and we can bring about change, and quick change. It can change in an expedient way because we are all bringing our different strengths together. So I think if I had to answer what does a collective mean to me, it works. And we have tried everything else. So we need to put our people and our culture first.